Come on, dude. What you gonna do with that baseball bat?
You didn't think we'd forget about you, did you?
I'm not leaving town, no, I swear.
Liars really piss me off, you know?
Oh no.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry, buddy. There go your plans. 'Cause this is Watch Dogs, and I'm Aiden Pierce, the vigilante. Oh no, it's the vigilante. So yeah, this is Watch Dogs. It's all right. let's start there. It is not a bad game. It is a lot of familiar shit. If you've played a Ubisoft open world game lately, you are familiar with the setup kind of how things work. There are towers and all that kind of jazz, basically, that you're going to and unlocking, and then you have an area of the city revealed to you, and there's open worldy stuff that you can do. Let's just set a fucking waypoint here, since I fail. So we're just a little bit into Act 3. I think we're about halfway through the game or so, or a little bit less than halfway through, maybe. By the acts that has set up, my understanding is there's 5 acts. If that's wrong, then I'm basing this on bullshit. But my understanding is there's 5 acts, and I'm either at the very end of Act 2 or the very beginning of Act 3. So if you don't want any story spoilers, you know, maybe let's watch out for that, because that is going to be coming for just a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I haven't done this mission yet. So yeah, like I said, it's alright. There's a lot of familiar stuff here. And the story, which we're going to do a story mission right now, the story is shit. It's not mediocre, it's shit. I don't care about Aiden, I don't give a shit about his sister, I don't care about any of it. It's all very... It's very easy to see, like, where the story is going and shit. At this point, I am playing the game purely based on gameplay alone, which I will say I enjoy myself in Ubisoft open world game. Assassin's Creed is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, and everyone's always asking for Assassin's Creed in, you know, present day. This is not that, but, you know, you can play it in such a way to at least get some of that out of it. So I've been playing, like, you will get forced into combat in places and shit like that, but you can play a lot of the missions fairly stealthy, and because that's something I enjoy, I have personally been doing that. But then it makes it all the more frustrating when you are just straight forced into a combat situation, especially when you've maybe done a sequence or two of, like, being completely stealthy and taking people out, and then it's like, oh, nope, well, they know you're here anyway. So this is your trying to infiltrate this guy's gang and figure out what's in his secret room at the top of the projects there. So you've got, what, his cousin or something working for you? I think Bedbug is his cousin, if I remember correctly. Like I said, the story has been really not doing it for me at all. So it just kind of ends up being a vehicle to get you from one mission to the next. And I would argue that maybe the missions are not necessarily even the best part of this game. And it's not necessarily all the other open worldy stuff either. Because a lot of the random open worldy stuff also, again, feels kind of unsatisfying, but we'll get to that. But I will say that the first 3 days I was playing this game, I spent more time with the multiplayer Oh, fucking tailing mission, of course. Oh, I probably shouldn't just roll in here with the car, huh? These dudes are like, what is going on? So we need to find an easy way in here now, which is not going to be over there. So you can climb fences and stuff, like you are decently mobile. But, not Assassin's Creed mobile. You're not going to go scaling up a wall or anything like that. Again, this is a separate property. It is its own thing. It has some similarities, and there are some similar feelings evoked, but in certain cases, but so let's see. We should get into a little hacking here, which is the big thing, right? Of course. And this is all it is. It's pressing. It's looking at stuff and pressing X. That's the hacking. And then occasionally, of course, because there's hacking, there's an obligatory hacking minigame that's pretty fucking awful. Because every game needs a bad hacking minigame for some fucking reason. But it's also, I mean, it's not good, but they've all been so easy that at least they don't really matter, which at that point, though, again, makes it like, well, why even fucking bother? This is just a roadblock to be a roadblock for no real good reason. Fuck it. What do I have at my disposal here? This didn't give me much to work with. Oh, you didn't see shit. So that's Bedbug.
My finger's still on the play button if I think you're stalling me.
I guess maybe we won't. Hopefully we don't have to tail him. There's been one tailing style mission, and it was about as annoying as you would expect.
He trusts you. Made sure of that.
But there's only been the one so far. I will say though, I just knocked on the hacking stuff a bit, but it does, like, there is enough there to make it at least like be a bit different. And you have, like, there's a lot of stuff in the environment that you can end up using to, like, either actually take out enemies or mess with them to get them to move around. So if you want to play stealthy, which, like I said, that's kind of how I enjoy it, so that's how I've been playing. Oh, we're gonna have to... We've done a couple of these where you have to basically stealth to guide somebody else into being properly stealthy. These also are not... They're not horrible, but they're not that fun. Get your ass moving, you're gonna get shot. So scared. Is there like a little fucking another alcove I can ditch him in or anything, or do I just, he's gotta probably just book it the second that guy gets in there. Yeah, get going. Go, go, go. Where's the next camera? So that's a lot. You spend a lot of time. There's several missions that are based on like either finding somebody with the camera and hacking them, or in this case I have to use the cameras to kind of guide somebody around. So there's a lot of kind of missions predicated on bouncing from one camera to the next and getting stuff done. And that's kind of hit or miss. It depends on what else is going on, whether that's been fun or not, or whether it's just been kind of annoying. Alright, oh. Okay, I can track this guard here. Get your ass on the move. Oops. Set off whatever that was. Gotta figure it out quick. Alright, that guy's gonna be messing with that for a second. Oh, there we go. And this is a little weird. Lots of people have hidden cameras on them for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, obviously it's a gameplay conceit, but it seems very weird when you're like bouncing from camera to camera and like all of a sudden it's a person. Alright, so this is probably, yep, here's the hacking minigame. Alright, what do we got? We're originating from over there. Oh, we don't even need that. Alright. Just that. Oops. And flip it around, and there you go. So like I said, they're not incredibly complicated, they're just annoying. And this is also not the best interface to have to deal with them. Like, I get why they make it look this way, but it's slightly annoying for sure. Alright, we want to point that. Unlock that. Unlock the other one. Oh, there we go. That does it. Yep. Alright, come on, bed bug. You set off alarms, dumbass. That's what.
Wait, that's not enough. Go back.
Mm.
Hey, bro, what's this shit? No, it ain't what it look like. What it look like to you? Cause it look like a supersized fucking betrayal to me. How the fuck you even get in here? Hold on. I love you, man. You know that. Who bought you? Quinn? No. No, wait, man. Don't you lie to me. No. Don't you fucking lie to my face. This how you repay me for taking you in. Come on, cuz. Look, we family. You know it wasn't me. He made me do it. What the fuck?
Oh, I guess, yeah, we probably put the camera on him. But there are just guards in the world and shit that totally just have fucking cameras on them. Fucking cover blown. So this is all probably gonna look nice and familiar, because now we're gonna get all action-y.
Didn't get much data.
See, all you need to do once you have people chasing you actually is come along some steam vents or some traffic lights, and then you're pretty much good to go. And it'll just, you don't even have to look back. Like, you can, but it'll, if there's stuff lining up behind you that's in enough range, then it'll set it off, and it'll throw up the thing there for you. See? And I've had it, like, there'll be spots where I couldn't even, like, necessarily see or know that a vehicle was coming at me from a direction, and it's just like, hey, you could take out this vehicle over, like, you know, a block over around the corner that's coming to get you, this cop car or whatever. That stuff makes it a little... This is annoying. Little easy, other than I have a fucking slow car, because that's what they put outside there purposely. Which I didn't realize I actually had a chance to kind of stealth my way through that. I thought that was a... That I find super annoying. I have totally hit cars because it does a little pullback to show you your destruction sometimes. So once we've escaped from these guys, which now at this point will basically just become a matter of getting out of a radius. Or actually, well, here, let's show this off. So you can just kind of park your car anywhere and turn everything off, which is nice. And you can use that to escape. So basically, they have to get much, much closer, and they actually have to stick around for a second to realize that you're there. Makes for some funny situations, because my car is all fucked up, and obviously, if you would drive past that, you'd be like, oh, well, that's the one. But, you know, it's the best they can do, for sure. And I think it's a good system. And it comes in pretty handy in the multiplayer, or in the interesting part of the multiplayer. So that's, like I was saying earlier, I think the most interesting part about this game maybe is the multiplayer. And it's not the regular multiplayer, like there's the decryption mode or whatever, which is like a one person has like a briefcase that they're trying to hang on to, and everyone else is killing them, and you get points for however long you have the briefcase or something, with like 8 people. I've played 1 or 2 rounds of that. That's whatever. And the racing is alright, but nobody seems to be doing it, so it kind of sucks, because a lot of times you'll only end up with 2 or 3 people, and it takes a little while to even get a match. But the hacking and tailing modes and the CTOS mobile stuff, those are actually pretty interesting in my opinion. So we'll kind of queue up for a couple of those and take a look. So the CTOS mobile one is probably the most like normal, I guess, or expected multiplayer thing, kind of. Like, it's very straightforward, makes total sense how it works. Oh, we're in an activity still? Have we not escaped? Oh. So we'll actually, I think I can do it now that the call's started. So, but yeah, if you actively want to engage in this stuff, you queue up in it right there. Like, if you want to, hey, I want to do a mobile challenge or whatever. So the mobile challenge, like I was saying, is basically this most straightforward one. It's run from the fucking cops, basically. There's some dude with a mobile app thing, which I haven't actually personally tried. I don't know if the other end of that is any fun, to be honest with you. But I think for me, you know, this end of it is fun. As somebody who, you know, a lot of times will just stir some shit up to get the cops on max pissed off just to run from them for 10-15 minutes. That's enjoyable to me. If that isn't something that you're into, then, you know, maybe you're not really gonna get anything out of this. But so he's messing with all these traffic lights and stuff. That's what's going on. And I can do the same too to take people out. So this guy should have... Oh, I guess I haven't been mowing people down and stuff. I think the way that it works is like kind of the worse the more shit I destroy and fuck up, like the more kind of stuff he gets. Like if I run somebody over, then he gets more resources basically to call cops out after me and shit. So yeah, we've finally got a police car coming after me now. So, but I've had some of these where it seems like the person on the other end is really got it out for you, and they do a pretty good job of calling in a bunch of cops on you and shit. This is probably, actually, I would say the least exciting, unfortunately, run of this that I've had before. This has been pretty docile. Maybe I should wreck some more shit and kill a couple people. I will say though, it's weird. So like if I actually mess up my car here to the point where like I can't drive it or anything, like he doesn't win. He actually has to apprehend me, I believe. Or maybe he does have to stop the car, and if you kill me, I don't know. Like, there's some weird conditions where like this still keeps going. It seems like it's much harder for him to actually kind of accomplish his goal than it is for me to just kind of get to the end here. Whoa! Is that car done for? Or did I just accidentally... Yep, I'm real good at that, accidentally hitting fucking extra buttons and shit. You can totally kill yourself just bailing out of the car. The damage is actually pretty... Like, you're pretty fragile. I've been playing mostly on normal. You're pretty fragile. Doesn't take a whole lot of shots to the face to end it for you. and certainly doesn't take much of a drop or anything to be the end of you. What do we got? 2 more checkpoints. Messing up my own shit a little bit too much with the steam vents. So that's all the stuff you're kind of unlocking, but you know, like I spent a good chunk of my time the first couple of days just kind of doing multiplayer stuff over and over. So I had all of that stuff before I even really got into the game at all. I was, you know, maybe 3-4 missions in, and I already had all these things to kind of take care of the cops and all that kind of stuff. Oh, hey, that's... I gotta get across, too. So I'm gonna run out of time, and he's gonna win, actually, unless I can steal this shit and make it there. So yeah, that's basically the only way he wins, is if I straight run out of time. So if he kills me, he doesn't win. If my car blows up, he doesn't win. If I run out of time, then he wins. And I would have won there had I not fucked myself by putting up a blocker. I would also, like I said, though, that is the least interesting match of that I've probably had. This is a pet peeve of mine, too. So if you're sitting on a mission that's got a phone call before it, which is like almost every fucking mission, you're gonna have to listen to that conversation. Oh, shit. Did not mean to do that. You're gonna have to listen to that conversation fucking 20 goddamn times if you wanted to do other stuff. So, and if you're not queuing up for things, you'll get, occasionally it'll just pop up like, hey, CTOS mobile challenge or whatever. And then, of course, there's the tailing and the invasion, the hacking. So those are like the actual invading somebody's game or having somebody invade your game. And tailing, you're basically following somebody for a set period of time and gathering information. And then hacking, you have to hack them and then basically stick around long enough for the hack to complete. But you don't have to be staring at the whole time. So the hacking one is a lot of hiding around and just trying not to be spotted in general. Whereas tailing, you're trying to tail and not be spotted, of course. The reaction from the community has been that like tailing is the easier of the two. Basically because you don't necessarily get notified unless if you notice somebody's acting strange or whatever, or just happen to profile somebody who's tailing you, then great, you find them. But a lot of times you won't even realize you're being tailed until you've been tailed. Whereas the hacking, once somebody initiates the hack, you know that you've been invaded. And you have like 3-4 minutes to go and find them while they finish getting the hack done. So, so when you invade, like, they don't know right off the bat, and if somebody invades you, you won't know right off the bat, unless, like I said, so sometimes you'll get dropped in really weird. You end up in a car like right behind your target, and so they're gonna realize, obviously, that hey, that car suddenly stopped out of nowhere. So they're gonna, realize, oh, maybe I should go check that out. Oh, this guy's just chilling in his car. This guy might be checking something out on the internet or something, not even playing. And this will occasionally happen. I've had it happen to me too. But if you pause and you're not already being invaded, it won't invade you or anything like that. So it is kind of your own fault if this happens to you. But it does make for something kind of unexciting. So a lot of this is just trying to like blend in, and so you're dropped into their world. Basically, you take over an NPC that was in their world, and you just take it over. You become that NPC. You on your screen look like Aiden, but you in their world or whatever that NPC was, and what, you know, if they were in a car, you're in a car. If they were on foot, you're on foot. The one exception to that seems to be if they're on a motorcycle, the other person, they will spawn you on a motorcycle, which is not useful because I have not seen a single NPC riding a motorcycle. So if you're on a motorcycle, you stand out like a sore fucking thumb. They do that because a motorcycle is hard to catch up with, but they also, if your target gets 1,000 meters away from you, you can just fast travel to it. It pops up with a thing, and you just fast travel over there. So let's get into a hacking real quick. And that's definitely like the most meaty and exciting out of the three. And hacking somebody is a lot harder than finding somebody hacking you, I would say. So we'll pop into this person's game, and you'll have to like profile them. You'll start the hack, and you can kind of. All right, what do we got? What is this guy up to here? So it looks like he's down below. Now, the unfortunate thing is he might realize already that he's being hacked. Because there are things that you can do to tell. So, in particular, if you pause the game and everything's still moving, you know you're being hacked. Because once you get hacked, it won't let you actually pause the game. Once somebody started invading you or anything. So you know at that point, okay, somebody's in my game. I don't know what they're up to, but you know they're in your game. And if you try to start a mission or something, it won't let you as well. So if you're at the start of a mission, then it's pretty easy to tell, hey, I'm being hacked. We should grab a vehicle to get across here. I have a feeling this guy knows. So some people you'll get in, they have a spot that they like to chill in once they realize they're being hacked. Or maybe this guy's just in the water for some dumb reason. So we're just going to put it in an intersection to cause some bullshit. Oh, looks like he's coming up. Right now, I'm hoping he's just gonna go by me and not realize.
Not interested. I mean, look at you. Hey, dude, what's the best nation? It's a donation. That's right. Get me? What crawled up your ass? Please don't do that.
So now, kind of, once I've got him hacked, I have a minute to kind of figure out where the fuck I'm gonna go hide and shit. What I really need is for him to piss off and start doing something else.
Wait, but if you let me. Come on, give me a second to just. Alright, fine. Hey, you looking for a date, pal? Hey, deja vu. Slow down. Forget it. Out now. Hey, whoa! Unbelievable! I'm gonna be right.
So now I'm hoping that he already checked this car and thought about somebody being in there. but it might not be the case. Because once I hit the X and started and got to that 1 minute timer, he knows that something's going on. So he's kind of already thoroughly checked this area a bit, so I'm kind of counting on that to hope to hide me. Now, if he does find me in here, you have a chance to get away, unless he just fucking shoots you in the face, which is what a lot of people do, and what the smart thing is to do, because you don't actually have to profile somebody, you just have to kill them. So if you realize you're being hacked, you're almost better off not profiling them, because once they're profiled, they know you know, and they're fucking booking it out of there. But if you think, like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's it, or, like, you see somebody hiding in a car, then you can pretty much just walk up like you don't know and shoot them in the face, or grenade them in the face. Once you get the grenade launcher, that's, if you don't give a shit about your reputation, so there's a reputation meter. Basically, if you're killing civilians and shit, you become a menace. More people will call the cops on you and stuff like that. Whereas if you're, doing non-lethal takedowns and shit, people will not act that way. I'm gonna get profiled. He hasn't checked these cars. So he's gonna just start shooting at me. See, he should have just started shooting people in the face in those cars. Or grenading them. Like, the second that he thought maybe that's where it was, he should have just started taking people out. But if you care about your reputation and stuff, then, maybe that's not something you want to do. But if you don't, the search area keeps narrowing. So every 25%, the search area gets smaller and smaller. They're also getting pings that kind of give out where you're at. And so, if you don't give a fuck about your reputation, you can just, with the grenade launcher, kind of go at it and just start. Once it gets to that last 75%, your search area is so small, you can just grenade everything around and call it good. You'll more than likely pick them up. Put a little blocker up for him. So escaping is pretty easy if you're in a car. And they like I said, don't just shoot you right off the bat. But that's honestly, I think, where the most interesting part of the game is at, is that hacking, entailing, invasion-style multiplayer stuff. Like I said, I spent, the first 3-4 days with the game, I spent just doing that, not really playing the missions. The missions, the story, are all fairly mediocre. It's a solid open world game. It's got other shit to do. There's these investigations, and you're taking down random criminals or criminal convoys, which is basically just taking out a car instead of an actual criminal on the street like you saw at the beginning. So there's plenty of shit to do. It's just whether all of that is necessarily compelling, and I don't think a lot of it is all that compelling. Maybe beyond the first couple of times you do it. Like, yeah, the criminal thing, okay, that's cool. Like, the first time you take somebody down, the second time you take somebody down, alright, yeah, that's kind of cool. The fucking 20th time that you drive around and you're trying to get a mission done, or get to a mission, and it comes up with a criminal convoy or whatever else and getting in your way, and it's just like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to get to this other stuff. Hit pay dirt. So this is your old partner, Damian Branks. Which, a lot of the story, too, kind of, like, hinges on things that I just don't understand. Like, I get that, like, things went sour between this guy and the main character. But you, like, refuse to work with this guy, so the fact that your sister gets kidnapped is purely predicated on you being a dick who doesn't want to get over shit that happened in the past. Like, this guy fucked up some job you were on, and so now you think he's a liability, so he comes to you with some shit and you don't want to work with him on it, and then he kidnaps your sister. Like, okay. So if Aiden could just fucking play nice, then yeah. And it's all that shit about, like, I don't want to put anyone in danger, and it's not really clear why he has to do the things that he does, other than just, like, that's the life he knows. He's a hacker, and that's how he makes his money. So that's just the kind of person he is. But, like, he keeps saying, I don't want to put anyone in danger, and keeps doing these things, and for unclear reasons as to why, other than just, like I said, you know, that's what he does. I think it's an interesting concept. I hope to shit that if they come back to it, if they come back with Watch Dogs 2, I really hope it's not Aiden Pierce again. Ooh, we're getting invaded. So I find him thoroughly uninteresting. And his I'm gravelly Batman voice is just fucking grating. I am sick to death of these heroes with the grady Batman, the mumbly, gritty Christian Bale Batman voice. It does not make sense for every fucking goddamn character. So the first thing I actually typically do when I start getting invaded is check parked cars. So you can actually conceal yourself pretty well in a parked car, especially if it's a dark out or it's a dark parking garage or something. So this guy was chilling in a car. That was where how he came in. Shut up. So that's kind of the detriment about also. So he's actually probably up there. I'm going to end up with cops. And cops actually make it kind of annoying to deal with, because then you have all this extra crap. So that is the one detriment to waving a gun around to kind of get some extra people out of the way. So now if he saw me coming, what I would expect him to do is to jump back in the car that he was in. Fucking get killed by the cops before I can fucking kill this dude. See, there we go. We got him profiled at least, so it won't be a successful hack. But I probably won't catch up to him. It is pretty hard if they're in a car and you're starting out on foot to actually catch up and take them out. Unless they fucking take a boat out of nowhere. That was unexpected. That was pretty smart. It's starting to get to a point, too, where, like, this guy fucking knew where he was going. He immediately fucking booked it over here and was like, okay, there's a boat over there that I can take. Dude won't be able to follow. It's like the first couple of days when I was doing it was probably the most fun I've had with it, too, just because a lot of people didn't necessarily know what was up. And so, like, I had ones where I literally just walked by the dude 4 or 5 fucking times. Just managed to not get profiled. Because, you know, they were too busy panicking, like, in a crowd or whatever. But you don't get too much of that anymore. People are actually starting to develop tactics and stuff for the hacking and all of that. And routes that they like to use and all that kind of thing. And there are spots that are totally way better for it than others. Because there is, like, open areas and stuff, there are areas where you can just get caught out and it's like there's nowhere to really hide. or to, you know, like if you pop in, like it's pretty obvious, hey, there's this fucking person here that doesn't belong here, stuff like that. So it's flawed, but like I said, I think it's the most interesting part of Watch Dogs. Obviously there's gonna be a Watch Dogs 2 because this did way too well for there not to be a Watch Dogs 2. But like I said, I really hope that it's not Aiden Pierce, and that we, you know, maybe kind of do something a bit different and hopefully learn from some of the mistakes that were made here. I'd also like to think that hopefully this is not just like the template, like all Ubi games fucking have a tower and that kind of stuff. Like it does very much seem like all their open world stuff is getting to be. Oh, still one on me. Is all just kind of getting to be the same, like in terms of how it actually, like the things you need to do to play the game in terms of actual mechanics and stuff. It seems like they're homogenizing a lot of that, and as a fan of open world games, you know, I'd like to see them get past that and hope that's not the case for too much longer. Because I think there's definitely some interesting things to do here. And I hope that they maybe take this in a more stealthy direction too, because that's what a lot of people, you know, not necessarily a lot of people were looking at like, oh, awesome, a stealth game, but a lot of people were looking at it when it first came out and didn't look like it was just going to be another open world game with guns, you know, as like, oh, hey, something different. And that potential is still totally there in the universe, so I'd like to see them focus more on the stealth side of things and more on the hacking stuff and less on the gunplay and shit in you know, another Watch Dogs title. I don't think that's what'll happen. That's what I'd like. Because, you know, like I said, I feel that's the most interesting way, maybe for me at least, to play this game too, is to play it, you know, much more like a stealth game versus, or an Assassin's Creed than a GTA where I can, you know. So that's Watch Dogs, though. Sorry it did take so long to get a video out for it. I just had a lot of stuff going on, and then we had E3 right after, so that kind of messed everything up. So, but better late than never. So yeah, thanks for watching.